Hello and welcome to my review of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. Now, what's a little opening for this movie? I don't know. So, back a million years ago, they made this guy, decided to make these movies, and it's dumb. I'll explain the rest of it during the review, because it's actually kind of complicated. So, Kitty, can you say hello to your first review? This is the first Kitty review. I'm going to be reviewing this movie with Kitty. I read the book, so, you know. I'm not new to this. Yeah, I can compare it and say that the book was better. Like a fucking annoying guy. Let's get into the review.
Do 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 do. Boo boo doo boo 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 boo. Boo doo boo 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 doo boo boo boo. Ba ba da ba da.
Okay, so where do we even fucking start? This is so... the whole backstory behind this is stupid anyway. First, what happened was, back in I don't know, the 50s, I want to say, the 60s maybe? I don't remember. I don't fucking know. Who even knows? This guy, George R.R. Tolkien, or... No. Is that the guy from Game of Thrones? I always get them mixed up because they have, so similar names. Is it George... No. It's gotta be Tolkien. I think it's Tolkien, yeah. But he made the Hobbit book. He made one book. It was for kids. It was kind of quasi-fairy tale. And then it got really popular, so the guys were like, okay, so you gotta fucking, you gotta make sequels or whatever about this. And he was like, hey, cool, so I'll just make kind of spin-offs, kind of, I guess. I wouldn't call them spin-offs, they were kind of just in the same world and just completely different stories. They didn't really have any of the same characters, only a couple of them. You call them Gandalf. And it wasn't like it was an origin story or something. So, I mean, maybe it was a spin-off. It's possible. But he made 3 of them, or, well, not really. He made one book, and then he divided it into 3 kind of, what do you call them, parts, and then released them separately. So, Lord of the Rings is just one book, kind of. Depends on the way you look at it. Some guy, I don't know, some genius, decided, let's make some movies based on Lord of the Ring. And then they were like, great, let's make some movies based on Lord of the Rings, right? So I made the first one, it was a huge success. They made the second one a bigger success. Third one, which was not very much of a success. As we all know, it only won 11 Oscars, which is a complete fail for somebody trying to direct a big blockbuster movie. Just kidding, of course. As we all know, Return of the King basically hit every single mark ever. It was good for people that just like good movies, technically. And it was good for people that like popcorn flicks. It was good for people that liked, that were just casual moviegoers. And it was good for people that were hardcore moviegoers. Basically, every single person here, almost everybody loved Return of the King. It was perfect. No, I'm just kidding. There were problems with it, I assume, but I've never seen it, so I have it. I'm gonna see it and I review it, but not yet. So, then they decided, well, I think that a way for us to make more money is to make another movie. And they were like, cool. Well, what are we going to do it on? Aha! I remember that original book that The Lord of the Rings was kind of a spin-off to in the first place. Well, let's just make it about that. Okay, The Hobbit, it's a kind of short book. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to make like a 2-hour movie about it, but okay. And they were like, ha ha ha, hold my beer, I'm going to make 3 fucking movies. And they were like, 3 fucking movies? You can't make 3 fucking movies based on 1 book that's not even that long. What is it? I would struggle to make 1 movie based on it because it's a very, it's kind of short. Well, it's kind of like novel size, but you know, I would struggle to find like a way to make it super long, and they decided to make it like 6 hours long all in total. Something crazy like that, like 5 hours maybe, I don't know, it's insane. And then it came out and it made money, I assume. It didn't resonate with very many people because I don't hear tons of people say it's terrible, and I don't hear tons of people say it was amazing. The only time people really talk about it is say like, oh, it's a cash grab, and I mean, that makes sense. I mean, considering it's, you know, kind of, you know, story. I'm gonna get Kitty in 3, 2, 1. There, I have Kitty now. So let's get into the actual movie. Now, there's quite a bit good about the movie. There's quite a bit bad about the movie. Let's go over the good first, because it's very, very much a mixed bag for me. Come on, don't run away from me like that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Kitty. It's mine. Come on. Very much a mixed bag. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. Let's see. The good. The special effects are really good. It's not like I actually believed that, like, it wasn't, like, photorealistic, which, you know, Planet of the Apes, the new ones, like the new ones, like the second reboots, the sequels to the sequels to the reboots of the reboots of the movies, you know, those you can actually believe, like that chimpanzee actually looks like he's a real chimpanzee. It looks amazing. I can tell you, it is so cool. But in this, it's not amazing, but I mean, for the special effects, which are kind of old, not super, super old, but, you know, for the time, they didn't age perfectly, but I'd say that Gollum and the goblins, or orgs, or whatever you call them, and the trolls, and they actually, like, they didn't look real, but they looked like they actually were there. Like, they didn't look like something that I could imagine myself seeing as existing, even in a fantasy world, but they did actually look like they actually existed. I could believe their presence, like they actually felt kind of threatening. Other good things. Whenever there's scenes of just dialogue between Bilbo Baggins and any of the dwarves, which there isn't very many of, where he's not just being like, then it's actually, like, really, really good. Like, I know, sometimes it's cheesy, but in my opinion, it actually seems like it's actually pretty good. Gandalf is perfect, but, you know, obviously he is. He's cast perfectly, he acts perfectly. The opening, well, kind of like the opening scene shows Bilbo Baggins saying good morning, and then, Gandalf says, lists off all these things that good morning could mean, And I thought that was really funny because in the book it's almost the same. So it's not like this movie came up with something new. But I just really liked that line. I thought it was really clever. So, yeah, that's good. Basically a lot of the actors are all really, really good in this. Let's see. The dwarves, Bilbo Baggins, Gandalf, all perfect. Everyone else is kind of like meh. You know what? Say that. Perfect. Gollum's perfect too. Andy Serkis, spot on. Of course he is, because he's Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis does great in motion capture. Of course he does. In fact, I don't know why they didn't just motion capture his character in Black Panther. Kitty. Wonder if he did the motion capture for, like Hulk and Thanos and all of them. Because Andy Serkis is like the go-to guy. If you got motion capture, Andy Serkis is there. You got motion capture, Andy Serkis. He's the main guy. That's why he makes the big bucks. The big bucks. You know those things that we see outside? He makes them, but they're big. The big bucks. Yeah, it's like hunting season, so it's like fucking annoying. Or, no, it's not. It's not hunting season, but it's fucking annoying. I can tell you, there are bucks everywhere. Anyway, that's besides the point. That's completely unrelated. Anyway, let's get back to the review. I'm thinking there must be some other good things. You know what? Let's transition into the bad. The shot composition and like anything technical besides the animation is okay. There's like one or two good shots that I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. But most of the stuff just is very, very standard, which I'm okay with, because just average action movies don't really need to be shot very well. I'm just bringing up because, you need to. I'm just telling you that if the script was good and the acting was good and most of the time, and everything was, like, good besides the shot composition, which is just okay, it's not terrible, then I'd say, I'd be okay with it. Because, a lot of movies like this are just, like, fantasy movies. They don't need to have perfect shots. Anyway, the more bad things, the acting is also kind of bad. Aside from Andy Serkis's Gollum, basically all the anime characters are just average. They're kind of ridiculous, like ridiculously over the top, which might be the point. So I say, maybe I just missed the point, but for me it just is kind of dumb. The elves and White Gandalf, whatever his fucking name is, the guy that played by Christopher Columbus, or Christopher Lee. He's bad. Yeah, there's not really much to say. They're just so bland. Characters are so bland there, so I don't know. The colors, sometimes there's one point where I'm just like, I can't even. Like, the color is just so bad. But most of the colors are just okay. It's not like they're really, really good. It's not like they're really, really bad. Color palette's pretty okay, middle of the road, average. The story. Let's go into the story. Here. Actually, there's one more thing I want to talk about. The sets. The sets are really, 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 really good. You actually feel like you're in those spots. Honestly, one of the best parts of the movie, maybe even the best part, not the animation might be better, but it's up there, is the sets. The sets are super, super good. If there were any that were animated, Most of it wasn't super obvious. Let's go on to the story, though. So, it's kind of hard to explain the story. It's one of those movies where it's kind of hard, and that's not good. It's not like in a Holes kind of way, where it's hard to explain the story because it has so many, like, factors into it. It's just, the reason is because, like, I could say about 80% of this movie is filler. Like, literally, me, I could edit this movie down to to its actual good bits, which is what you should do. Edit out all this fluff bits, all this shit that isn't even good. You just want that pure goodness. You don't want any of that shit that just isn't good. You just strip that away. Strip all the bones away. Strip that out. We don't need that. And then we get to the actual good bits. There's some good bits. There's some bits that actually pertain to the plot, but I'd say almost all of this filler, it's pretty predictable. I could have told you the exact same thing right before I watched the movie. You know why? Because they're making 3 movies based on one book that isn't even long. It's just a fucking normal-sized, maybe short book, and they decided they were going to make 3 fucking movies off of that because of money. Oh, what was that? Because it's because of money. And they also wanted to do another trilogy. I bet they would have done 20 if they knew that they would actually be consistently making money. There are some scenes that I'm just like, what the fuck? Why is this going on so long? Like, the main one I see is the riddle scene. That goes on longer than it was in the book. You don't even need to show all the riddles. Just show like 1 or 2 or 3. Just show like 2 riddles, like Gollum does a riddle, and then Bilbo does a riddle, and Gollum does a riddle, and then Bilbo is like, what's in my pocket? And then they, like, that would have been fine, but they would decide to do fucking, 50 riddles. I don't even know. Like, why do you need all of this? This is just pointless filler. There are a ton of fight scenes that I'm just not engaged in at all. There's plenty of times where they're obviously supposed to be, you're obviously supposed to be inspired, but I just am never. There's just so much that I don't get. There are tons of plot holes I could nitpick forever. First, why did they even add in that guy that was a fucking, what was it? The green guy, I don't know. The wizard that was, part of the forest, I don't know his name. And I was just like, you could have taken this out and it wouldn't have affected the story. Not really. Just have him go to the castle, fight off the guy for just a 3-minute, just a 3-minute scene where he fights off, or just 50 seconds, just a minute maybe. He just fights off the ghost and gets the thing. You wouldn't have needed this entire character. We could have just removed it all and it would have been fine. We wouldn't have needed all of this just filler. It's pointless. Completely pointless. Of course, that's the point. I might, what I might do? I might find a torrent of this online and edit it down to everything that is important, because none of this stuff actually matters. I bet that there's a fan edit out there where they edit out all the filler. I bet that if you took these 3 movies, Unexpected Journey, 5 Armies, and Desolation of Smog, and cut down everything that was filler dialogue and filler shit that is stupid filler, you would have like a normal, like probably like hour-long movie. And I'd be like, that would have been so much better than we got. They could have made one movie, but they decided, no, we're going to make 3 movies. Of course we're going to make 3 movies. Oh, why would you make 3 movies? I don't know, because money. It's perfect. It's perfect. None of these criticisms are new. Of course, there are people that are probably going to be like, okay, you just are going on and on and on and on about filler. That's because I want a long review, of course. You know why I want a long review? Because I can put more ads on it. I can make more money. That's basically what they were doing. Of course, I don't have ads because I'm not monetized, because nobody fucking subscribes to me, so subscribe and I can put an ad every single second. I'll put ad. There'd be like 1,000 ads. You wouldn't even be able to watch. You wouldn't even be able to watch because it'd be ad. Fucking ad, fucking. You know what? This is completely off topic, so I'm just gonna say that I'm reserving judgment on the entire series until I watch the next 2, but let me just tell you, I think it's gonna probably be more of the same, and my criticisms are probably gonna hold true. So, that is my review. Hope you liked it. Of course, Kitty's cute. So, bye.